Guys, now it is time for Azure Lab. So today is day 40 of the 100 Days of Cloud series. So the lab title is Managing Secrets with Azure Key Vault. So here, throughout using Azure Key Vault, we had to manage secrets and we had to do encryption and decryption for secret files for this lab. So let me click the start button. Let's go there. So let me go to appdrawer.com first. And here I prepare a diagram to simply understand how does it work about the Azure Lab, so Azure Key Vault. So here we have the app service with managed identity. So to get the secret, the process like this app service get request to this Azure app directory, send request for token. So this Azure app directory return a token to this app service. So using that token, so this app service again get a request from the Azure Key Vault. So this Azure Key will return a secret value. So finally, using that secret value, this app service connects successfully with the database. So the process like this. So if you really understand this process, you will know that why we use Azure Key Vault, because you can simply understand that here we cannot write secret files and codes and password at the same level of codes. We have to keep those secrets and sensitive data in another environment. So here Azure Key also like a isolated or separated environment to store the sensitive data and passwords, secret keys, stuff like that. Okay, so for this lab we're gonna do step by step throughout this array of stages. So finally we will finish the lab. Okay, so first of all, let me copy this given instruction. So here we're gonna do step by step. So first of all, let me create the key vault. So here we will read the given instruction. The Nautilus Lab obtain is focusing on improving their data security by using Azure Key Vault. So our text is to create a key vault with an RSA key. So and then we have to manage the encryption and decryption for a pre-existing sensitive file using this key. Alright, so this is briefly introduction about the lab. So now we will keep reading for the specific requirements. Now we have to create a key vault. So vault name is here Nautilus 30158. So your region is US and standard pricing tier, and we have to do soft deletion retentions, and we have to do both access policy permission model, and then we have to configure an access policy that allows get, list, encrypt and decrypt permissions for this lab identity. So okay, let me copy all of this thing and then let me find in the Google, in the Chrome, because I don't want to find step by step. Okay, so here we had to create a key vault using this command. So here is we need to get the correct resource group name. So let me get the resource group name. Is that group list? So now here we will use this resource group name later again. So I will copy somewhere. So let me copy right here. So I will use this resource group name, and then I need to replace correct name right here. So region is, we cannot write like this. We have to write like East US. So ASCII type standard soft deletion retention this. So this is not correct argument. So we have to get like this. So now we run this command to create that key vault. Okay, great. So now we have to configure the access policy for the lab identity. So how do we get the object ID? We don't know that yet. So okay, let me find how to get the correct object ID for the access policy. In key vault in Azure from terminal. So let me find like this. Okay, so this is not correct, you know. Okay, to run this, I don't know application ID. So how to get application ID? Okay, let me list the application. Insufficient privilege to complete the operations. So that's the problem. So we can run the command. Can I get using account show? So let me put like this. Okay, so display using user dot name. So let me find like this. Okay, so I will run this command. Here we don't get, we want to get the principal ID. So I will run like this. Probably we get that. Okay, so we will use this object ID. Okay, let me check right here again. This command is correct to get object ID. Yeah, okay, that's correct. So okay, now we will use that object ID to configure the access policy. So here we need to get the keyboard name 30158. So great. So I will replace the correct object ID. So here I can use this value. So I will put somewhere right here. Okay, great. So now I will run this command to configure the access policy. So here permission is get, here like this, get, list, encrypt, and decrypt. So we do every permission. Okay, so now let me create the RSA key. So I will copy this whole sentence and I will find a new tab. So I had to run this command to create the RSA key. So RSA key name is nautilus-key right here, and nautilus-key within the keyboard. So that's why we need to give the correct keyboard name. Key type is RSA. RSA key size is 4096. All right. So leave all other settings as default. Okay, great. So key type is RSA, size is 4096. So we need to get the correct keyboard name. Keyboard name is nautilus, nautilus, here, 30158. So okay, I will remove this again. Okay, now I will run this to create the RSA key. Oh, we had an error. What error is this? Okay. For solving issue is for Biden policy message the Google application it does not have keys create permission on board nautilus 30158. Okay, so let me copy this error and let me erase that this tab. Okay. Oh no, here. Oh, here we need to give this create permission, you know. Recommended create permission. Okay, let me run that again, this comment. So okay, so now let me run again this command to create that RSA key, right? Okay, this time it is successful. Great. So now we finished for that this step here, this stage. We created the RSA key. Now we had to encode that file. So we keep reading right here. So encrypt the sensitive data. So use the key. We had to use the RSA key to encrypt the provided sensitive data.txt file. So that file is located within this root directory on the Azure client host, and then we had to use RSA-OAEP algorithm. So we had to use base 64 encode the plain text before encryption. Okay, great. So and then we had to set the encrypted version as the here encrypted data.vim in the root directory. Great. So first of all, let me do base 64 encode for this plain text. So we can run this command base 64, and then that file is within the root directory, and then what is the file name? Sensitive data.txt file, and then I will keep within this root directory, but this time I will keep plain as a plain text, PLA plain dot base 64. So extension is base 64. Alright, so you can check it out. Here you will see the plain dot base 64 and sensitive data.txt. So you can read both fine. Let me replay it. So here this is a plain text. So how about the sensitive data? Okay, so this is a sensitive file. This is just string. Okay, great. So we finished this step. Now we're gonna encrypt this sensitive encrypted data.vim using RSA-OAEP algorithm. Okay, so how do we do this? So okay. So let me find a Google how to encrypt ENCR1 and PD encrypt F5 and F5. Okay, is plain and test in Azure using, we had to use RSA, you know what is that, OAEP, right? Algorithm. And from terminal, so let me find from terminal. So is it correct? Algorithm name is RSA-OAEP. RSA-OAEP. Okay. Okay, so we have to use this command. Okay. Alright, so key encrypt, and then vault name is, no, this one is not correct. Vault name is Natalia, Nautilus, Natalius dash, what is that? 30158, Natalia 30158. 30158. Great. So key name is nautilus-key, right? Nautilus nautilus-key. Right here, key name is like this. Nautilus-key. Okay, so algorithm is RSA algorithm. I will remove this double quotes. Okay. So here plain tab is we have to get this data type is plain text. I think okay, here we have to get the plain text value. Okay, I will get this plain text value. I will copy this and I will replace right here. Okay, query it result, and we keep this output here to this encrypt data.bin. So I will keep within this that. Okay, so here that find it also within the root directory, right? So I will get the root directory. So here we need to give the correct name and the specific directory name. Here we have to save the encrypted version, encrypted result as encrypted data.bin file in this specific directory. So don't get it wrong. I don't need this, bro. Okay, let me run this. Okay, so we successfully encrypted. So you can check it out here. So you will see now the refine. So here you can read the cat. So here this is the encrypted version. Okay, so now we finished for this stuff, and now we have to do the decryption using RSA-OAEP. So before we do that, we will read the given instruction. So we can skip this part. So we have to verify that decryption we have to verify for this decrypted data.bin file. We have to decrypt, right? So how do we decrypt? So let me find like this. I will run this. I will copy this prompt again, and this time we have to do decrypt. So that decrypt is a encrypted test. Okay, so let me run this. Let me find like this. So okay, this time we have to run this command. So keyboard is decrypt. Board name is here also nautilus nautilus 30258, right? 30258. 158. 30158, and key name is nautilus-key, and nautilus nautilus-key, and then we don't need these double quotes, and then data type is you don't need this data type. Okay, and then we need to get this plain text right here. So if you use with a parameter, that would be good. So okay, let me do with a parameter for this encrypted data. So let me get the Anyway, we can call this hyper test, you know, here. Where is that? Okay, we can call this hyper test. So I will give the name CIP HER. We key in a variable test, and here I will start with the $, and then I will give with the cat root, and here encrypted. I will give this encrypted data.bin file name, and then I will close with that parenthesis. Oh, is something wrong? Root directory. Oh, I think here. Oh, yeah, this is not correct. No, it is correct. Okay, so let me read it again. This parameter cipher. Let me copy, and I will remove this. So you will see the same test again right here. Okay, great. So now I will use that parameter value. So here I will just get the name, and I will get this. Okay, great. So result is we will keep a. Here we have to keep like this. Here save the result as decrypted data.txt file in the root directory again. So base64 decode that decrypted output. Okay, great. So okay, so we have to save the result like this within this directory, slash root, and here decrypted data.txt. Okay, now I will run this to decrypt the encrypted file. Okay, great. So we finished for this verification of decryption. So okay, so now we have to check that decrypted file mesh with the original sensitive data.txt file. So we had to, this time we had to decrypt again, you know, using here we had base64 code, base64 decode again the output that decrypt.txt file. So now let me run this command, you know, like this. Where is the book command? Where is the oh god, yeah, like this. Now this time we have to run for the decryption using base64 code. So base64 for decryption is -d. So we will decrypt within this directory, root directory, and then we will run this. Where is that? Here. So this is the save in root directory. Okay, I think it's a little bit complicated. Wait, let me check it out again. Okay, great. Okay, great. So this is a plain base 46. Okay, so these are the same. I hope so. So okay. Alright, okay. I gotcha. So okay, I will go back again. So I will run base 64 and decrypt, and then root directory we will decrypt this decrypt data.txt, and then I will keep in a separate file. So here you can get any within any file. So I will get like result.txt. Okay. So ls. So let me check the result.txt. So here you will see file name. This is a sensitive file. Yeah, that's it. So okay, great. So I think I misunderstand right here. Actually, oh god, that's crazy. Let me get this name into this decryption data.txt file. Okay, great. So that's let me do like this. Let me remove this decrypt data.txt ls. So and then okay, so how to rename a file and then it's okay, so using mv. So to rename the, okay, let me rename again. So mv, so that would be result, and then I will get this name. This has to be like this. Okay, ls cat and decrypt data.txt. Okay, great. But you know, for this okay, let me create again this for the cat, echo string. So this is the decrypted string, right? So I will get like this, and the ecr1pted decrypted base 64. Alright. Actually this is not necessary. DECR1. Okay, great. Okay, so now everything is correct. So let me check the funny stuff. Here we need to do the mesh to check that for the validation. Yeah, so that's it. Here you should not forget this to give the correct file name, decrypted data.txt. That has to be like this, that with the correct string. So here is like this. You know, this is a sensitive file. So this is a final result with this correct name. Yeah. So finally we did it, but it takes time to finish the lab. Okay, thanks for watching. See you in the next coming video.